live. We're live on a Wednesday, like we always do. Except the difference today, it's Shep's birthday.
It's my
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah, this guy.
34. I've went around the sun 34 times. Is that how they say it?
I don't
Is that
know.
how they say it? Another lap around the sun or something. Either way, we've
Perhaps.
made it another 365 days at 3:36 a.m. exactly. We did, which is kind of weird because I'm pretty sure I woke up at 3:30 this morning. I somehow always be awake at the exact time I was born.
It's time for your rebirth.
Feels like that, man. It really feels like something has to go down that wakes me up right around. And I stayed up. I enjoyed it. I stayed up for a little bit. I think I stayed up until about 6 a.m. Just kind of kicking it,
Yeah.
doing my thing, enjoying it, being like, all right, 34. I don't know. Obviously, everybody viewing is people that kind of know us, but some people know Chase and not me too much. But I'm a big Chicago Bears fan. So, of course, I grew up being a big Walter Payton fan, number 34. So I have dubbed this year of my life the sweetness year. I'm trying to do big things and trying to get it good. And it seems
like it's going well.
going.
Yeah, definitely.
It really does, dude. And like today, the whole squad has been showing it's just too much love, man. Too much love.
No, I was happy to hear all that good news today.
Yeah.
I feel like it. I can almost time it. Like it's like every 3 months or so, I just kind of go into like a slump. And I think after 420 and with everything that's kind of going on right now, I'm just kind of in that slump, So hearing all that news, I'm like, that's awesome. And I know we got big things going on too, but
we do.
Being in the old slump, it's hard to keep those things at the forefront of the mind.
It really is, but like it's fun, and like especially like today, getting to talk with a few people and them asking about like, oh, you and Chase, and it's like, oh, we got a lot of stuff actually in the works in the background, and then when you're looking at the music, it's like, well, over there's a lot of stuff actually working in the background there too, and then just like today, already good vibes, for me being the birthday and whatnot, but going around the boys and Humbly G got his merch drop in, so he threw me a t-shirt. Hey, happy birthday, here's a t-shirt. Shit, it's like everybody's doing such beautiful things. I got to watch Black Mage's battle from last Friday in Atlanta, and that was just inspiring, man. That almost made me want to be a battler. I was like, damn, maybe I want to battle. Like this looks like, and it's just to be able to see that, and even the guy he faced. He went up against apparently, okay, so like we didn't really get too deep into this talking since he couldn't be on the show, but apparently the guy he went against was like that guy's 4th or 5th battle that he's ever done. And he went against Black fucking Mage. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. The way that G put it today, though, to me was like so great. And I don't know the people's name. I know like Goku or whatever within Dragon Ball Z, but I don't know the other guy he was saying. But apparently he's like, it's almost like when, Goku got slapped by this master and he's like, he's going to come back one day and own shit. And it's almost like that's kind of something that happened with this battle with Mage is like, Mage owned it. But that kid, I think, I forget the kid's name, Venom, JD Venom maybe or something like that. He's gonna come back big. Like the dude had bars on bars on bars, but Mage studies. Mage knows the craft at this point. He is professional. Like he is a fucking professional at this point, in my opinion.
His last battle, Rio and I compared to Mike Tyson versus Bruce Lee, whereas the other guy was just throwing the heavy hits, but Mage, he's like water, bro. He's bobbing and weaving. He's doing his thing. He's
fluid, man. He's very fluid, and
I love to watch him do his thing, man. It's always a pleasure.
Like I said, it's inspiring. It made me be like, and like, and the reason why I say he's like professional, in my opinion, on this shit is because I got the same feeling after watching his battle in Atlanta that I would had I go pop on 8 Mile or watch, what I'm saying? Go watch some King of the Dot battles. with like fucking, I can't even think of the guys' names right now. Dumbfounded's a part of them, and fucking forget Tough Guy's name, but there's a tough guy that was always a part of it. Houlihan, there you go. Fucking baller ass dudes. You go watch this shit, and it's like, man, you're when you're done, you're like, I gotta write a song, I gotta write a verse, I gotta do something right now. I had the idea today that I was like, man, next year for Black Mage's birthday, we should book a venue out and do a roast of Black Mage, but let it be all like battle rappers that come in there and get to go on stage and say what they got to say. And he can't respond until the end where he can say a little bit to all of us.
Yeah, that would be
all at once.
That would be pretty dope.
So it's like, come on, get your shots in on Mage right now where you can't rebuttal right on the spot and make you be like, damn. Because he would. And I was like, man, I'd love it. I'd love to do something like that. I think that would be
Chase Shep TV.
There you go. And I think that would be fun. We never know where we'll be at next year, but maybe that's something that we'll put together and have for you, because I'd love to see some shit like that. A roast with battle rappers. Come on. That's got to be on point.
I'm there for it, for sure. You just said something about Dumbfounded, and I literally just found out he was a rapper like a month ago. I've only ever known him as an actor from like one of my favorite movies. It's this weird like horror movie called Detention. And he did another movie with that same director called Bodied, which is a movie about battle rap that Eminem produced. I haven't seen that movie yet, but
no, I have not.
Now it all makes sense. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah, Dumbfounded. Okay. First and foremost, very good MC. I jam a lot of his songs. I like it. The one that I like the most is there's one where he's talking about being old, and like it's like today I feel my age, basically is how it goes. And it's like the beat's all poppy and uppy and stuff, and it's like, I drank too much last night type shit. But where I knew him from was battle rap. King of the Dot. He did battle raps. Him and Kid Twist had one of the hands down one of my favorites. And this, obviously, if you ever go look this shit up and you go look at these battle raps, that's from an older time where you could take some jabs. And battle rap is one of those genres still to this day that you could take some jabs that if you just said that to somebody in real life, not so cool, man.
Right.
And that one had, like I said, Kid Twist had one of my, I popped so hard at it because it was just out of left field and it was towards Dumbfounded, and it was to end a battle like a round, and he said something to him because Dumbfounded is an Asian man, and he said he's like telling him like beating him is, he said something about passing a sniper's nest or passing your driver's test. And I was just like, oh my God, this guy, he is just straight gooning his motherfucking ass right now. But Dumbfounded, like to me, that was one of those battles where Dumbfounded bounced right fucking back when he came back in the next round. And those guys just, you could see the friendship there because they were clowning each other so hard. Yeah. And I would hate to have to pick the winner. But that's just, you know what I'm saying? There's a few people that you can watch do that shit and you walk away inspired. You walk away like, yo, I need to go do something. I want to do that. At 34 years old, it's pretty fucking hard to get it like a brand new inspiration of something I want to do. So to have Black Mage be able to go up and do his thing and have a 34-year-old white dude walk away going, damn, I want to battle somebody, a little hippie kid at that.
My thing is with the battle, like I've been in the studio with rappers before, and that inspires me to be like, fuck, maybe I can throw some lyrics down, and I can write stuff, but I can't freestyle. But I see those battles, and what I'm inspired to do is to watch more battles. I'm not inspired to battle people because I know I'd get my ass kicked. I would be like, they'd mop that place with me.
Well, you know me, man. Like I'm a creative type, so my wheels start turning. Like the second I have that thought, like, damn, battle rapping would be fun, I start getting my head turning up. Like, how would I go into my first battle? And it's like, I would love if I had, like, the guy could go first in the first round and I could go second. So, like, I could start off being like, I thought we was all just meeting up to hang out tonight. Like, I didn't know that this was the thing. Like, damn. Because I feel like coming out of left field in those things and getting people to laugh and getting the crowd reaction is where it's at.
Oh yeah, see now I'd be good at that. I,
Yeah, and I feel like if I chose to go into this battle rap, I would maintain my personality now, which is not to attack people.
right.
So I feel like that's how all my shit would come. I don't know how good it would be, but I would try to come across like I don't want to attack. I thought we was hanging out as like homies. Like I didn't know you was calling me up on stage, calling me out and shit. Damn, type deal.
It's
Which
kind of
could
reminds
cut. It
me
could work.
when you mentioned something about doing a compliment battle on the
Yeah,
show, and I always think about I don't know if you've ever seen this movie or not, but Sorry to Bother You. But there's a scene in it.
sounds familiar.
There's a scene in it where like there are people outside protesting, and then the main dude tries to go inside. And him and his buddy like start to get into it in front of outside or whatever. And when they start getting into it, like it's very heated, and they're like being very aggressive. But when you hear what they're saying, they're just saying like the kindest things to one another. And it's such a funny scene. I always think of that every time you bring something like that up. But yeah, I only just found out Dumbfounded was a rapper like last month, and that was because I was on my Aquafina kick last March, and in doing that, I finally actually like I always knew Aquafina was a rapper ever before
Mhm.
she became an actress. I just hadn't really listened to her music, so I finally decided to check it out, and I was like, "Damn, this shit's actually pretty fire." I was actually very pleased with Aquafina's music, but I'm pretty sure she's collaborated with him before, and then through that little rabbit hole of listening to her music, I found his.
Well, there's a lot of dope, man, out there, and that's what like being, like I said, the same being involved with the battle rap scene. You get to see that most of these people are musicians, and there's a lot, man. A dude on my face, Tantrum, he be posting up a lot of stuff from the battle scenes out there in California and whatnot. He's a part of it too. Well, I'm pretty sure he was on King of the Dot as well, and I love seeing it, man. It's been introducing me to tons of new artists, tons of new like people. You see it all the time, and these people have mad skill. They do stuff that uh, I definitely don't think just anybody could do. I've done music for 18 fucking years,
Oh yeah.
and I would be
Oh,
terrified if
I
somebody was like, "You got to go battle."
it truly is like it is a battle. It is like a fight. Like and when, like in seeing that for the first time, like I feel like obviously I'd seen 8 Mile, I'd seen shit
Right.
on TV, but Mage is the first time I've been this close to it, and to see Mage do it and to see somebody I know do it, and I it really hit me. I was just like, this truly is a fight. This is a back and forth, blow for blow, like, and that's where especially with the whole Mike Tyson Bruce Lee uh, example, everybody has their different styles too of fighting, and that's
Oh,
what's
they
so,
do, man.
so interesting. Yeah, battle rap's very interesting. It's definitely a scene I'd like to know more about. I'm gonna have
I
to check
always,
the movie that body.
yeah, I always compare it to chess. Basically, it's
Oh,
two
definitely.
guys in a battle of intellect. and
So,
and like I said, and you can see it like in even we go back and not a lot of musicians do this, and if you don't, grab a note, take a note right here, go back and watch your shit. Me and G sat there and studied this shit and stuff, and like the kid that Black Mage faced, it was like, this kid comes back and studies this, he's going to be able to see his shortcomings compared to Mage's, where he came and shined. And it's like a lot of it was because like the guy's hits and his punchlines didn't really ever go more than like 2 bars deep. And that's
right.
a big thing that comes across when it's like every other bar is just a different punch, different punch, different punch.
Right.
You're looking at, like you were saying, jabba, 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 where Black Mages is like it's drawn out. So
Well,
it's like,
is a motherfucker up. I mean, like
yeah,
again,
but
don't
his is like
that
punch. This is like punch, body jab, punch, body jab, uppercut. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it's like whoosh and really fucking hits.
well, because that
And
last guy, everything, and that's not to say the other guy did a bad job either. But this other guy, like he was definitely, like Mike Tyson, he was just coming in with heavy hits, and like yeah, a lot of hits landed, but he was also like kind of a one note sort of guy. Like it was basically just like I'm gonna kill you. Like that was the best he had, like around every corner, And it's like, okay, well, every time I jumps back to this guy, he's just got the one thing to throw back, and he just doubles down on that the whole time. Then Mage, like if at all, like he like never double dips. He's like constantly moving. He's constantly flowing. Yeah, he gets a lot of hits in, man.
Yeah, if he brings something back up, and there's a point to it. It's not just that he couldn't think of nothing else, so I got to recycle something from the beginning. It's like, no, there's a point, and it's going to go like, it hit at this level the first time, we're going to hit it at this level now this time. But that, to me, every time I watch him, dude, that just shows I've known him for years, and that shows his dedication and his study of what he does. Dude has made this like a craft. Like, and when I say like a craft, it's even more so than just like, when he talks about writing wizard books, like, I believe him 100%. That motherfucker,
Yeah.
he's done it, man. And he's always been my inspiration. Is, like I said, his game of the year stuff, I already got to show you. I haven't seen him reveal it to the public, so I am not going to reveal that to the public myself. Okay. But I am on that shit, and it is fucking, like, again, next level. And it just goes to show you the team. He's always been smart with his team. And I don't say that because I'm part of his team, but he's always been smart with his team, man. And he's got very, supportive people. And we want to see him succeed, probably more so than he wants to succeed himself. Because I know him at a time where he's like, nah, I don't want to blow up. I think now he's accepting the fact that he has the skill to be something. And it's not even like, he's not even the type that it's like for money or for fame. I think he can get it out there to enough people to make a difference and to change some shit. Because that, to me, has been his whole motto and his whole mantra. His shit gets so deep. And you'd think it's just these little, quips and one lines and this and that. But it's like, no, you pay attention to that shit. It goes very deep and talks about a lot of issues. And he has seen a lot of shit in his lifetime. So he's somebody that's solid for that kind of shit. And I love it. I've loved to see him go from fucking rapping with me in my mom's kitchen to where he's at right now. I love it, dude. I love it. And I if I ever stop the support that I've shown him and have given him, that won't ever stop, because he is somebody that is long overdue to be getting his moment to shine.
Yeah, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him, man.
And his birthday was yesterday. So if you're watching this right now,
what the fuck?
Yes. Go give Black Mage some love. Yeah, hey man, that's what I said. Me and him have always been, we've been boys, and that's one of the coolest things has been like, your birthday's the day before mine? All right, Taurus.
Had I known all this, we could have organized a better birthday bash here.
We could have. I think he's getting together with G right now doing some stuff. They were working on some stuff, but no, yeah. I've always told him, especially when we were doing rogue shit, that I was like, yo, we need to book a show that's on your birthday, but like when we go on stage from 11:30 to 12:30. So like right in the middle of our sets, that one moment that's like, we could all start singing happy birthday, and start it singing happy birthday with you and finish it saying happy birthday with me, and being like, it's a big birthday bash over here. Again, one of these days, I think if that ever becomes a thing, it's going to be where the roast happens, though.
That's something I was kind of thinking about today, is just the whole, like, one of those days, like, the next year of Chase and Shep, or not even next year, but even a couple of months from now, of just, we do have such big ideas. It's a matter of, again, currently only being two people doing all this. I don't know. Who knows where we're going to be? Who knows how it's going to grow? I don't really know where I'm going to go with this. We'll see. It's something that's been on my mind a lot today. Is like,
it's nice to think about, bro.
It's like, where do I want to put my focus now? Like, which things are like, because it's really difficult, because for me personally, I'm trying to strike that balance between finding something that's going to make at least enough money. Like I said, I'm not trying to get shit rich, but it's something that will at least make enough money, but also do things that I want to be doing. Like, knocking the projects off my list. With the music stuff, I know when we did the 420 mixtape, we both kind of agreed, hey, fuck it, music, we'll just put the shit out for free. And I told you I'm working on the official Chase Continues release now,
Right. Yeah.
and it's definitely been an interesting challenge. And today when I was working on stuff, I was just kind of, it's funny, man. Like music has chased me down. Music has chased me down throughout the years, and it's like
And
one of
now
those.
the and now the chase continues.
And now the chase continues, man. Like it. I've always, I was always the movie guy. I was always like, and well, and even now with my music, I'm still the movie guy. But music has always just been like lingering in the background. Like it's always been my second love, but it's always like been trying to force its way to the forefront.
Right.
Before I moved to Tennessee, there's a little bit of that, but especially once I moved to Tennessee, it's hard not to run into musicians around there. And
Yeah.
we had, a lot of house shows and stuff like that. And I was asked to be a manager for somebody's band once, and I looked into that. And so, I've always worked with musicians doing like music video stuff, and now like working on my stuff today, I'm just like, I never thought I'd become this much of a musician of my own. Now working on two separate projects, for the rest of the year, with the official release and the Halloween release, which was also something I was thinking on as well. That I think is cool. That I think this will be the first time we do a Chase and Shep holiday release that's two separate entities rather than a conjoined Halloween release. So that's,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
excited. It kind of gives the people a little more.
it does. And I think that's because with Halloween, it's been something that like these other holidays, it's just been like, yeah, we should make something for the holiday. Like, fuck it, that'd be a good holiday to make some songs too. But like Halloween has been one. I know you had said you'd wanted to do for a while. I know I had wanted to do for years, like years upon years. I said, like, I used to do song releases. I remember back in like 2016 or 15, I'd like to say, I was working with Chris Smithy, does Philophobia, and he was wanting to do like produce a Halloween album for me. So this has been something that's just been a long time coming for me. And that's been one that too, like last night, I kind of sat there and listened to it through. And, I sat back and I'm like, damn, like, going back to Mental Health Monday with the reflecting and shit, it's like all these times, when I did my releases, I just go on YouTube, SoundClick, wherever, find some beats that were for free, throw them out, do my thing, throw them out for free. This one, though, 10 tracks, only 2 tracks on out of all 10 were made by other people. The rest of the 8 was made from scratch by me, all original concept, written, composed, everything. And that's something that I never thought I would do.
Yeah.
Like, so when it's like, damn, and it's like, now it's literally like, it's all there. I just got to write the words to it. And it's all like, and today being able to finally sit down and show it off comfortably, because the first half is really set in stone.
Right.
But like I was playing like the first one, and like we were sitting there listening, vibing, and I was like, yeah. And I said that to G and Easy. I said, this is actually, I'm hyped because this is one of the first ones that besides 2 tracks, I made everything. And Grant's like, I'm glad you said that, because I was just about to ask you, because it sounds like this is one of the beats that you pulled off of like YouTube or some shit. And he's like, and if you made that, bro, like, he's like, but because he's watched my journey from making my first beat to now. So he's like, I'm glad to see where you've went and you've gotten, and I'm teaching you this and that, and you're picking it up and you're learning, and now here you are laying down an album. So, it's nice, man, growing. And, back to the reflection shit on Monday, to look back where I was at last year, and my mindset was never even thinking, where will I be next April? It was just like, man, this pandemic's never going to fucking end. Things are never going to open up. Motherfuckers are dumb. They're going to keep acting dumb. Why is everybody going out doing shit but not hollering at me to go do shit with them? Is it because I keep bitching about everybody going out and doing shit all the time when they should, all these things. Whereas like this April, I'm reflecting back on that, being happy where I'm at now, like, and looking at all the love and all the positivity and all the beautiful things we got working on. But then I look like right now, I'm looking at like, damn, but what about next April? I bet next April is going to be like,
Well,
so
I went
that
into
gets me excited.
I went into 2020 saying, "This is the year. I can feel it. Like this is the year that shit's really going to start changing." Obviously, that happened. Not exactly what I had in mind, but I've said before, all things considered, had a pretty good 2020. It finally set me down the path that I'd been, technically I'd been on this path for ever, my whole
Mhm.
life. But I took a shortcut at some point and got lost in the fucking woods. Well, now I've popped back out and I'm back on that path, and I knew going into 2020, I was like, it just feels like this is it, and uh, last year, I would say 2020 was all about planting the seeds, and 2021 has all been all about watering those seeds, and it's
Mhm.
definitely felt that way for sure. Something that with it being your birthday, you being the big 3-4, you what's up, Zach? Hello.
Zach Gilbert, what's up, buddy?
Uh, that totally threw me off. Oh yeah, you're 30. You're 34.
Hey,
He's
thanks, Zach.
there you go.
Thanks, buddy. Love you, guy. Thanks for joining us.
It's always nice to get a few of the Twitchers in.
But yeah, being 34, what's up now?
Yeah, being
Planting
34.
seeds.
I was going to bring this up on Monday as well when you were talking about being 34 and kind of looking back on things that and I hear that kind of conversation a lot amongst our group of friends. And the thing is, like, I always have to remind myself that I'm the young guns, like I'm the young one of the bunch. And so when you guys are all talking about this, in a weird way, it kind of makes me feel good. Like it makes me feel good because I'm seeing you guys succeeding, but I'm also reminded that like I am damn near 10 years younger than some of you guys, and to have that kind of jump, to know where I'm at now, and to think, hey man, I still got 8 years before I'm at 34. So I who the fuck knows what I can accomplish before 34, and I felt the same way always hanging around G's place, like just with everybody. And a lot of people would bring up like, oh well, I'm in my 30s and this, that, the other, and I'm like, and I felt that way my whole life, whether it be as an artist or as a person. Like I'll just see where somebody else is at, as an older person, and think to myself, well, fuck, okay, I seem to have that one down. I can feel good about myself knowing that I've learned that lesson, and I don't have to deal with that down.
But see, yeah, and like to me though, the thing has always been like this. See, I didn't have like, because you're looking 8 years ago, we was back in like 2012 or something. I had a good squad. That's really where Johnny Cash became Johnny Cash, was in like 2012. I wanted to do some different type of music. I started thinking different, started feeling different, and it was really just the encompass of the whole crew around me. Black Mage was there. I think that was right when I was maybe first meeting Grant, because him and Black Mage was doing the roof. Pudgy. But then like, my roommate at the time and all that stuff, he was just one of those people that like, he'd come home and he'd hear me in my music doing or hear me in my room doing some music. He'd knock on my door when I'd stop, and he'd come in with some weed. We'd sit down and smoke. He'd be like, what you working on? Let me hear it. I want to, oh shit, that shit's, and it was just all that just like pushed me, and it pushed me to this next level, that I started driving and started doing all these other things and started putting out these mixtapes and all, whatever. But I've tried to tell people this throughout the time. It's like, you're jumping in, with a group of dudes in their 30s that have been, been doing the shit. Like, so I can sit there, you could come to me and be like, Shep, I want to do a release. 18 years, I'm pretty sure you got some advice. What's the move here? And I could sit here and tell you, well, I tried to do this and it didn't work. I tried to do this and it didn't work. I'll still, and this is where me and you vibe, but I'll still swear to you that I feel like a physical copy on the street works still to this day. Fuck what people are saying. I think the personality, when you get to meet somebody face to face and you get to see who they are, how they interact with people, what kind of vibe they give off, and then they're like, oh, I do music, and you're like, oh shit, oh okay. I
Yeah.
think that creates a whole different bond than somebody just randomly coming across your stuff. But I don't think that's I think that could be a whole separate bond on its own. I feel like people do like discovering shit that their friends don't know about. So once they discover it, it's like, yeah, I got some good shit. I know
Yeah.
one of my most favorite music artists was done just like that. He was somebody that just posted on a website that I was posting my music onto. Happened to come across them. He had tons of music, and it was phenomenal.
I've always said
Um,
this was one of the most interesting finds to me. Physical copy. This is all. This is it. This is all it was. Slum.
Slum.
Slum. I do see your question. We will answer your question.
Oh yeah, I got you.
I found this so I found a record store that had apparently been next to my house like this whole time I was living in Tennessee. I had no idea that's what it was. I randomly walked in there one day. It was like right behind the liquor store I worked at. So I randomly walk in there one day and they got a little shoebox says free, slum. That's all it is. I open it up and it's just there's not really much on the disc. It's just and then it's all handwritten on the inside, the track listing and everything. But there's like I could not find this guy. This guy was a ghost. And it's like just based off of the way this was all decorated and everything, you had no idea what you were gonna get. I was intrigued like to the max, man. I was just like, what is it? I could not wait to get home and put this CD in the CD player to figure out what the fuck Slum was. Turns out he's like pretty chill dude. It was like a kind of all indie alternative kind of vibe, I would say. But it was dope. It was dope, man.
You never know with those kind of finds. You never know what could happen, though. Because I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you this, Zach. We're gonna answer your question. Maybe this will give a little insight to your question right now. But back when Aaron was a little high school kid, I remember going to the Warp Tour, right? And we was just doing our things, and little dudes come by. Hey man, we got a CD. You guys take a copy. La 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 la. Go jam it. And we're like, damn, this shit's good. Avenged Sevenfold. Now we see where they went. Plenty of people that you come across that's like that. So, what genre of music do I listen to, Zach? I listen to. I would say genreless. I don't put a limit on any of it. I think I vibe pretty much with everything. Pop music, rap music, rock music, heavy metal, black metal. I like instrumental music. I like that techno instrumental type shit. Dubstep can kind of be good in the right atmosphere. I like classical shit. Again, in the right atmosphere, I think that's good. I like Frank Sinatra and all the classics. I like the 50s. I like 50s music, the doo-wop type shit. I really fucks with all that kind of stuff too. I just think it's beautiful. I used to be somebody that I had a genre when I was a teenager. I was a juggalo, so I liked horrorcore music, and that was it. If it wasn't talking about rapping about killing people, spooks and ghosts and shit, I didn't want to listen to it. And I found myself always placing myself in boxes, and it's just I just go with whatever I'm vibing with that day. If I pulled up my Spotify on repeat right now, I'm telling you, it would be all over the place. It's like Mod Sun, Fotsy. I know Voldrega Black Mage is on there right now at the moment. My boy, Chesky. I listen to some Purity Ring, to go off some churches, shit like going off that's on different levels. Japanese rock.
Like 678s or like is that too old school?
I can't think of the name right now. Oh man, this is gonna bother me. But the only time I got into any sort of what I would call it more Japanese punk was the Misfits. Fucking had a little band that was like the Japanese Misfits is how I always took it, and they featured some of their songs on the end of one of the Misfits albums, and I really fucked with that hard. I thought they were good, and I looked into a few of their stuff. But no, I do like world-based music and shit like that, like outside of the United States, very much so.
I was gonna say I'm the same way, not to be those dudes, but we like a little bit of everything.
I've never heard of those people, so I'll have to definitely check out that.
Check those out. I always like finding new stuff.
I'm gonna take a picture of it because I'll forget if I don't.
Yeah. It's a
Hey,
good thing.
no hate, bro. Like I straight up will forget if I don't, but you just watch. I took a picture.
Just send me the picture.
I got you.
Look that up.
Um,
But just today alone, like my Apple Music has gone from I've been rocking like 70s dance party a lot lately. So I've just been, all sorts of a lot of Casey and the Sunshine Band, just stuff like that. That whole playlist, and I'll jump from that to like Mr. Wasso, like it was like French techno, uh, which I love, like EDM stuff, rap. It doesn't matter. I love old school, like
Jimi Hendrix, very much so.
50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I mean, it's just 90s hip hop is like the shit. Jimi Hendrix, of course, man.
That was a big influence in my life. I actually named my second mixtape "Bold as Love" Volume 2 after Jimi Hendrix, because he was definitely somebody as a kid. My dad would lift weights in the basement all the time. I'd go down there and chill. You know, as a little dude, I always wanted to kick it with pops. And Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, The Doors, you know, Clearwater, all
I
of them.
say Led Zeppelin 4 is probably one of my all-time favorite
Hey
albums.
yo, thank you, Corey. Brr, 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 brr. Yeah,
Well,
no, Led Zeppelin definitely very, like I said, that was a very big influence for me too. My fourth mixtape name, What Is and What Shall Never Be,
there,
Volume 4. As an ode to Robert Plant. I love him.
him,
I would hope he would listen to it and be proud.
a lot of that came into play for me because of my love for movies. And specifically, I've always been the type of filmmaker that is very music oriented. Like I always write to music. I'm a studio's worst nightmare. I'm just gonna show up with the most expensive script because I wrote all these songs into it, like Tarantino or Edgar Wright or something. But a lot of that was like my first exposure to like so many great songs, and still to this day, that's why I love movie soundtracks, man, because I'm exposed to all this music that I don't know, like that's why I love the Baby Driver soundtrack so much. It was 30 tracks, and like it just spanned all of time, and I found so many great songs on there, and you
Kravinsky
notice too
or
that
Kravinsky or whatever. That's where I heard that from.
which one?
Kravinsky, I think, or Kravinsky or something. I never had know
Oh,
how to pronounce it.
oh fuck, I know who you're talking about.
He does like the first song going into that movie, Night Call or whatever.
I call it in drive, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I was in your car that one day and I saw you were listening to, I was like, bro, you listen to, and I totally, I think I got the drive soundtrack over here in my.
Again, yeah, movies definitely. Like I said, that was a time, man. As kids,
Well, I was gonna say when I was a kid, that's kind of how it all started. Like my parents, my music like started as like Simple Plan and like Good Charlotte and all that. I listened to all of them, and then like I started getting movie soundtracks. I had like Rugrats in Paris, Scooby Doo, Shrek, like all these movie soundtracks. But like shit, like, Shrek had like Leonard Cohen, Hallelujah, like. The Scooby Doo soundtrack was just slapped all over. Artists that I didn't even know who they were at the time, but looking back, that thing had Outkast, Killer Mike, like.
look here. That's a good question. Zach just threw up.
Who and what concert do you want to go to? Ooh, that is a good question.
I could probably lay it down right now, man.
Dude.
So basing this off of artists that I never got to see before their time, right?
Right.
So I definitely, if I went to a concert, like I got to heaven and they was like, you can have your concert. Okay, of course you need an opener. I would do a very little known artist called Cranford Nix, who's one of my most kind of fucked up. It's folk punk. I don't know if that's the thing, but he passed away from an overdose. But his music, it hits string. So I would probably want to see my man's open up. Oh man, see, it would be hard to go from there, but it would probably be like I would probably have the first people little short set on stage.
How does heaven work? Can we go to Woodstock?
I would probably say Nirvana, probably Nirvana, because I feel like they do a pretty killer live show. Then I would definitely want to see.
Is it lame? Is it a lame answer to say the Beatles, like in its entirety? Because
No, because I was thinking that too, and then that's what hit me. I was like, well, they're not all passed away. I know the Doors. The Doors, first and foremost, would definitely be my main stage, hands down. Jim Morrison doing his thing. I would want to see that. Um,
dude, now if we're picking dream concerts to see, like,
I'd say okay, Nirvana, David Bowie, The
dude,
Doors.
yes,
There
yes.
you go.
I was just getting ready to say Wu Tang, but I'm like, honestly, it's just Wu Tang for ODB, like to have the whole set. But
I've
exactly
seen Wu Tang perform, so not
without or with
without ODB.
now somebody
Um,
I would like in heaven would probably put on a better show. I saw Leonard Skinner like I don't know, fuck, probably like 10 years ago at this point. But like, obviously most of Leonard Skinner died, and like I don't know, that concert was lame as fuck. Yo, Queen, yes. You know what? Honestly, all three of those that you've mentioned are probably the three that I would like to see with all of their original people intact. Is Wu Tang, the Beatles, and Queen. I think to see Freddie Mercury do his thing would probably be just incredible. Same with John Lennon and ODB. they're all legends.
no, and like
That's a good fucking question, man.
Jimi Hendrix would need to be thrown in there. Frank Sinatra too.
Can we just like go to Woodstock somehow? Like, is that a thing? Can we like traverse through time and space and go to Woodstock?
Because there's probably a lot too that I'm not clicking in my head right now that I'm like. But I've got to see a lot of fucking performers over my time to make sure that like Motorhead. Yeah, definitely Lemmy and Motorhead. I'd love to see Dimebag Darrell doing some shit.
Oh yeah, there's probably so many. Hey, MF Doom's up there now.
Yeah, MF Doom. There's way too many, dude. Big Punisher. I think he passed away way back in the day. Big, Tupac.
I was gonna say, yeah, probably a lot of '90s hip hop artists.
So many. DMX.
X gonna give it to you in heaven now.
Yeah, definitely somebody that it kind of sucks not being able to see these days and having not been able to see when he was here.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of those, man. If you ever come to a concert and you're like, man, I want to see that, just jump on it. Go find a way to get a ticket and hit it.
Yeah, man, I totally fucked up like a few years back when I went to my first festival. We went to oh my god, the name of the festival is slipping my mind, but it's in Memphis, and I mean every fucking artist and band pretty much I ever wanted to see was playing at the festival. And it's not even like, oh well, we just didn't have the time to see everybody. Like I got to see, we ate up some edibles, and we went and I got to see Cake. I got to see Cake perform War Pigs live. So I'm like, somebody come and kill me because this is as good as it gets. That was awesome. I was so happy to see that. And then Cake, and then Tyler the Creator took the stage right after. And we all the Cake people left, and we got even closer to the stage. And I was really peeking on those. It was great. It was fantastic. But then we decided to spend time with the girls we were with and see the city of Memphis. And that cost me Jack White, Queens of the Stone Age. I think Alabama Shakes may have been there that year. I can go get
Jack White is really good live.
Oh, I got to hear him in the distance, and I was just like, I broke up with her like a month later. So,
say Jack White's somebody that I was glad I got to see.
I have to look at his shirt now. I have to see just how badly I fucked up.
Now I went to Bonnaroo, was my first festival that I went to, and we got to see a lot of really good artists there. And that was coincidentally the year the Saturday night headline was Mumford and Sons, and that was like on the Friday. Their bassist, I believe it was, found out he had a brain tumor. So understandably, they had to cancel their Saturday performance, which they were one of the headliners. So it left, the question, everybody was like, well, who's going to slip into that slot and fill that headline slot then if they're not going to perform? And a Bonnaroo Miracle, baby, that Saturday at about 4 p.m., they said Jack Johnson just landed from Hawaii. He's gonna play the slot tonight for you guys. He went up and when he was on stage, he said they landed and had enough time to practice for just a little over an hour, and he went on stage and played for 2 hours.
That's
And it
awesome.
was like that was one of those he is one of those performers that I used to be so very much into. I've kind of fell out of the loop. I think I want to dive back in on him and see where he's at.
Jack Johnson.
Yeah. But oh man, I was just in love with that dude. So to be able to see him perform live,
The hell did you go to high school that they're bringing in Green Day?
I heard that. I've heard that happened. That Green Day goes in. That's really dope. I was into that. Was like kind of a band that pushed me into again wanting to do music was Green Day.
Green Day was
One of the
for me too.
That was one of the first bands as a kid I got into. I got Geek Stink Breath. Got that for Christmas one year.
I got American Idiot for one of the holidays. It was either my birthday, Christmas, or Easter. I got American Idiot. I bumped that forever.
Like so them guys and Blink 182. They wrote my whole fucking teenage soundtrack.
By the time when I became a teenager, that's when in 2008 I discovered the dude. Gorillaz are my favorite band of all time. I got Gorillaz shit all over this place. You can't see it, but Gorillaz are my motherfuckers. I really contemplated spending $350. I was gonna say earlier in regards to physical copies, $350 for the deluxe vinyl box set thing of Gorillaz album Humans. I was like, why you got to do this to me? I already had to fucking settle for the $80 Song Machine set. 350 fucking get out of here. Even though I love them. But so the festival was called Beale Street Music Festival. Mind you, I only saw those two. I saw Tyler the Creator and Cake. These are all the people I missed. Jack White, Queens of the Stone Age, Odessa, Erykah Badu, Post Malone, Logic, Incubus, Alanis Morissette, David Byrne, Kaleo, The Flaming Lips, Ludacris. I did see Vance Joy for a little bit. I got to see him play his song Riptide while we were waiting in line for a beer. But Third Eye Blind was there, Dram, Dashboard Confessional, Juicy J, Franz Ferdinand, they're a big one I was wanting to see. Action Bronson was there. All Time Low was there. Andrew WK. I mean, it just was going on and on and on. And I saw two of these motherfuckers. Are you kidding me? I was like, and we decided to see the city? Like, come on. So many good people that we missed, man. So many good, and some of those are truly on my list of must see people, especially Jack White and Queens of the Stone Age. I was listening to their stuff, and Incubus was one of my early ones too, because a lot of my early music was my dad had a CD collection, still does, and obviously his was a lot of 80s, rock music and stuff like that. But there was a few that snuck their way in there. One, Big Willie style, Will Smith. Classic. That thing shaped me for sure. And then Incubus, which was also great.
I have my brother mainly to thank for music when I was a kid. He used to trade me CDs and shit like that. So that's where I got into the Doors, Nirvana, Motley Crue, all kinds of shit, White Snake, all that 80s hair metal band, Judas Priest, Slayer, everything like that. My brother was a music fiend, dude. He loved it. He had every CD, all kinds of stuff. So I just always sneak into his room and be like, I'm going to take this and go listen to that. And that's where we really started. And I'll never forget, my dad and my brother, big musical moments in my life was, I'll never forget 1996, that summer when my dad it was nonstop. That's when Sublime Self-Titled came out, right before Brad Noel died, jamming that shit. I remember when that guy passed away. That there you go. That would be one that I was thinking for my Heaven concert. Definitely that would be the one right below. Would be Sublime. That's been a band that's stuck with me my entire fucking life.
I like Sublime. I've tried so hard to get into them. Like, of course, I like their like hits, but And Corey, I agree. Incubus is
I love everything about Sublime and what they did. A lot of people shit on them, but fuck it, I don't give a shit. And then that was also the same year that Marilyn Manson came out with Antichrist Superstar, and that was a CD that really
yeah.
changed the game, and especially me as a little kid.
For me, it
Was
wasn't Marilyn
the
Manson
one that,
much, but Rob Zombie and System of a Down were my two big.
well,
Like,
see, we had White Zombie at the time.
right. Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like System of a Down, my brother showed me them because he went to Ozfest, and that was the first year that System of a Down, like right before their first CD even came out, they were on Ozfest to hype them up. So there was a lot, man. There's a lot of these bigger name bands now that is like funny to me, like especially like stumbling on like Slipknot. I'll never forget. I first heard Slipknot whenever I feel like, okay, side note though, I feel like Sublime is, you just had to grow up with them.
Yeah, I do think it is like it's an
Okay.
important taste for sure. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that they're bad. I'm just saying they're not for me.
No, but I feel like, okay, hey, like if you grew up with the time and like all the references they're making there to the early 90s and shit like that, you're like, oh yeah, I fuck with that. Then I think you'd fuck with them hard. And like I said, I've always had more of a hip hop influence, and I like Sublime with that. They blended hip hop, punk, and ska. Perfect. But going back to the Slipknot, I had first heard like Slipknot. I was on vacation. My grandparents took me and my sister to Disney World one year, and we were down at Disney Studios and shit like that. And they had like this Virgin Records.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They had this whole like Disney fucking like neighborhood thing that they just built, and Virgin Records was there. One of their big things outside of Times Square, I believe. And in there, just randomly listen, they had like little podiums with albums. Hit Slipknot in one of them, and I was like, "Who are these guys? Look interesting. This guy's got like a potato sack on his head." Listen to them, blew my mind. Oh, Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, dude, I got to see
Huge.
Tom Morello. As that was actually one of the last concerts I got to go to before everything shut down. It was also a festival. I got to see a bunch of dope people, and all the girls I was with at that show, they all fucked off and left me because they were like, "Wait, he doesn't like sing or anything. He just plays guitar." It's like, that's fucking Tom Morello. Like, I I had to fight that guy on Guitar Hero 3. Of course, all he does is play guitar. Like, and he's awesome at it.
I'd say one of my most favorite concerts, memory concerts that ever all time will be the first Cottonmouth Kings concert I ever went to. That was just such a special fucking night.
Yeah.
And like start to finish, everything about that night was like, that's one of those memories that will always stay. And that's why like that band always has like a special place in my heart for, bringing us, because it was like a whim. I forget. I think we were in like study hall or flash animation class or some shit. And I was just like looking on Ticketmaster, and I was like, oh shit, Cottonmouth Kings are playing over at Pops tonight. And my buddy was like, oh, for real? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, we should go. And then like this other kid at school that like I talked to at school, but never hung out with after school, he was like, I want to go. I got a car. I'll drive us over there. And it's like, damn. So it's like that became a thing. And last minute, like we scrounged together enough money because tickets were only like $18 to get our ticket, get some weed, because it's like, you're gonna go Cottonmouth Kings, you got to smoke some weed. And I'll never forget, like we got there and bought our tickets, and we're sitting in the cars, and we're like, let's smoke a blunt. So we rolled this fat blunt up, and we're all smoking. It was me and like 4 other buddies, 5 of us in this car. So we're sitting there, we're smoking. Down in St. Louis, I don't know, probably nobody very familiar with it. Pop's nightclub is connected to 2 strip clubs within its parking lot, and they all share one big parking lot. Very, very beautiful place to go to, I feel like. And so we're there, we're parked, smoking this blunt. We see this obvious stripper comes out, and she's getting into the car next to us. So we roll down the window, and we're like, hey, what's up? You want to come smoke with us? And she's like, nah, like not having that shit. She probably just got off a long ass shift.
Yeah,
she's
right.
like, nah. So, but we're all paying attention outside the passenger window to her. When we on the driver's side here, tick, 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 metal on glass, which is never a good sound. And we're like, fuck. And my buddy in the driver's seat had the blunt in his hand and didn't move, and just like rolled his window down, automatic window, goes down, you know what I'm saying? Cop puts his head in the window, and all the smoke from this blunt is going up in this cop's face. And this is back in like 2004, mind you, right? So we're like, fuck. We are fucked. So he leans in there, and like all of us dead silent, and he just goes, "Hey, you can't park here, guys. This is the stripper parking." And we're like, "Huh?" And he's like, "You can't park here. This is for the strippers." And we're like, "Okay, so where do we park?" And he's like, "Turn around." And we turn around. And he's like, "You see all the lighters going off in the cars behind you?" And every car behind us was lighters, flicker and flicker and flicker. And, you know,
I'm almost 110% positive that
like
we told this story back in season 2. Now that I'm thinking of it, now that you're getting to the end of this story, like with
he's like,
the copy, you dumb idiots, go park over there.
Yeah. He's like, go park where the other kids are smoking weed in their cars. So we're like, all right, so we go do that. Yeah, I'm sure I did. I asked the cop on the way in, like, what's up? And he's like, too many of you smoking weed. But inside, like that concert, like I say, is special because we get
that story on PCP.
I might have
told that back on the film.
But like when we got into that concert, it was crazy because like first and foremost, one of my friends, he left instantly. Didn't see him the whole night. He was gone. All right. So me and one of my best friends, Chris, at the time, we were together. These other two guys, they had split off. So what ended up happening was like this guy Sean passed out right before, when the first band got on stage, and when he came to, he was at a table with all these hot girls. He said, and they was like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Here's some water. I got you some ice." And he was like, "Hey!" And one of the other dudes that was with us saw him and was like, "Oh shit!" So he was chilling. So they was all chilling with this whole group of chicks. Me and my friend Chris, we watched all the opening acts. Everything was dope and cool and shit like that. And right before the Cottonmouth Kings got on stage, he's like, "Hey, I'll be right back." And I was like, okay. Or no, it wasn't Cottonmouth Kings. They weren't on stage yet. It was Pepper or somebody. Yes, Pepper. They was like playing right before the Kings. And he's like, "Hey, I'll be right back." And I was like, all right. He apparently went 2 people behind me and just like, he passed out. And I was like, oh, damn. I didn't even know. When he came to, he was outside and he was like, some girl was like, "Are you okay? I saw you fall down," and told the security guard. And he was like, "Yeah." Come to find out, she was like, my family goes on tour with the Cottonmouth Kings. Like they were those people. They went on tour like followed the Kings on tour. So she was like, "I know them." And because he was like, "Yo, our whole goal tonight is just to smoke weed with the Kings." And she's like, "We can go smoke weed with them right now. Of course, we're smoking weed if they're about to go on stage." So we were like, "Oh," so he comes back and finds me and is like, "Yo, this is what that." And he's like, "Come on, run up top real quick to the VIP section that nobody else is allowed. Get the entrance. I guess dabble in a little dabbles with the Cottonmouth Kings real quick." And just dope ass shit, man. Being like, hell yeah, that's fucking dope. How this all like came to and happened, we don't know. She even invited us to get on their bus afterwards, but the kid that drove us was like, "Nah, it's 1 a.m. My parents are gonna go crazy. We gotta go home." So that sucked. But that option was there to get on the bus, smoke out with them. Would have been dope. Would have been a dope story. Didn't happen. Met Lazy Bone at the same venue outside. Kick shit with him for a while. I love that place. That's one of those venues that I hope one day I get asked to perform at.
Yeah, that'd be dope, man.
I'd love it.
I've talked to so many people. Like, I feel like I'm like the only one in my family that really like digs going to concerts. Like my sisters have both like they're not real big into it. Like my one sister, she'll go, but she goes to like country concerts and shit. But I miss it, man. That's definitely the one thing I'm ready for is to get back to a concert. I know, like, definitely, like, my top 3, like, just magical moments at a concert were, like, one, the entirety of the Kid Cudi concert. I mean, I saw Kid Cudi when he came to the Assembly Hall, and from start to finish, like, even that DJ that opened for him, DJ Kid Cutup, was fucking phenomenal. And he started the show, and at the end, how they ended the show was he did Pursuit of Happiness, and he ran through it one time, and then when he got to the end, it circled back, and it started playing the remix from Project X. and it just starts ramping, and the whole just place is going nuts, just dancing, just like I've never felt such an energy before. And none of us realized he left. Like he left the stage, like after he performed Pursuit that first time. He's like, peace. And he peaced out. And we're all just so into that, that next round. None of us even noticed. None of us even noticed that he left. OK Go at the Canopy Club was also probably one of the most like just intimate, magical concerts I'd ever been to. Such a, with the Canopy being a smaller venue, uh, I just remember they started playing a certain song and like the confetti cannons are going off. It was the big finale at the end of the show. And like, I just felt like everything was in slow motion, dude. Like it was just such a cool concert, man. Like they were just so cool to see live.
As whack as it's going to sound, that was for Insane Clown Posse. They definitely put on a great live show back in the day.
And then definitely as being a part of an audience, that same festival I saw Tom Morello at, the Lumineers closed it out that night, and their last album was just getting ready to come out. It's titled 3, and they closed out the show. I don't remember what song they played, but the lights went out. We were in this like outdoor auditorium in Chicago, and it was like everybody sitting in the auditorium, and then people sitting up on the hill, like outside of the auditorium, like a shit ton of people, man. And I got to be a part of one of those moments where like all the lighters went up, the cell phone, and it was one of the most beautiful things I had ever seen in my life. Was just because it had been raining all day, it was just nice and dark, and then just like all those lighters, bro. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to be a part of.
Concerts are a magical place, man.
They really are.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped to get back out there this summer. I'm seeing a lot of my boys posting up their shit online, going back on tour and stuff. So it looks like we're finally getting there. I know I got my first dose of vaccination, so we're good.
Yeah, we're gonna be out there doing big things, man. You're 34, and it's time to fucking knock down the door.
Sweetness year, man. Sweetness year.
We're gonna do it, man. We already got big things rolling, and I'm excited. I'm excited for Johnny Cash to take the stage again. I'm excited for us to get out there and film the stuff we're working on.
What's going down? It's gonna happen.
Thanks for everybody for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks Corey, thanks Zach for chiming in, all the questions, all the love. Pass it on, man.
Of course. Happy birthday, Shep.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for all the love all day on Facebook, on the text, on the calls, in real time. I appreciate you all. You make me just happy as fuck.
We'll catch y'all on Friday.
On Friday, Invincible season finale, I believe.
Yep, and could be
whatever else. Whatever else we figure out
coming out. So we might. I don't know. We might get into something. I'm sure
we'll figure it out.
We'll see you then.
Smooches and deuces.
Peace, everybody.